Esther was a young Jewish woman living in the Persian Empire. The story opens with King Xerxes Ahasuerus hosting a lavish feast in his capital city, Susa, for all his nobles and officials. After a 180-day display of wealth, the king orders his queen, Vashti, to appear before the guests to show off her beauty. When she refuses, Xerxes deposes her. The king then seeks a new queen, and a search is conducted throughout the empire for the most beautiful women. Esther, an orphan raised by her older cousin Mordecai, is chosen. Esther hides her Jewish identity on Mordecai's advice, as they know that Jews are often treated with suspicion in Persia. Esther wins favor in the king's eyes, and she is crowned queen. Mordecai, who works in the royal palace, uncovers a plot by the palace guards to assassinate the king and informs Esther, who tells Xerxes, saving his life. Haman, a high-ranking official in the Persian court, is promoted by Xerxes and expects everyone to bow down to him. However, Mordecai refuses, as he will only bow to God. This enrages Haman, who decides to seek revenge not just on Mordecai but on all Jews in the empire. Haman convinces Xerxes to issue an edict to exterminate all Jews on a specific date, casting lots Purim to decide the date for the massacre. When Mordecai hears of the decree, he mourns and sends a message to Esther, urging her to speak to the king and plead for the lives of their people. Esther is hesitant at first, as approaching the king without being summoned could result in death. But Mordecai convinces her, saying that she might have become queen for this very purpose. Esther fasts for 3 days and prays, asking her fellow Jews to do the same. Afterward, she courageously approaches Xerxes, who extends his scepter to her, granting her permission to speak. She invites the king and Haman to a banquet she has prepared. At the banquet, Esther invites Xerxes and Haman to another meal the next day. Xerxes, eager to grant her a request, asks her what she desires. Esther finally reveals her identity as a Jew and exposes Haman's plot to annihilate her people. Xerxes is furious and orders Haman to be hanged on the gallows that Haman had prepared for Mordecai. Xerxes issues a new decree, allowing the Jews to defend themselves against any attacks. On the day set for their destruction, the Jews are victorious, and Haman's 10 sons are also executed. The day of the Jews' victory becomes a celebration known as the Feast of Purim, where Jews remember their deliverance. Mordecai is promoted to a high position in the king's court, and the Jewish people are allowed to live in peace. Mordecai decrees that Purim should be celebrated annually to remember the salvation of the Jews. Lessons to take note are 1. Esther's courage to speak up for her people, even at the risk of her own life, is central to the story. She exercised courage and faith. 2. Divine providence. Though God is never directly mentioned in the book of Esther, the events unfold in a way that suggests divine intervention and the protection of the Jewish people. 3. Justice and retribution. Haman's downfall serves as a reminder that those who plot evil against others will ultimately face justice.